Warning. Warning. Warning.
You, Timmy? Hey, we would like to wish you, everyone out there, from 1865 West Side Lane, a very holly jolly Christmas.
A very Merry Christmas.
Space. Give me your.
Hey, who did you talk to? What's going on? It's me, Mike Leopard King Michael. This is legit Paranormal Clips, the show where, well, I'll tell you what about the show is actually about. But first, I can't wait to bring on one of my co-hosts because I can't wait to hear his reaction to the setup. Joining me, Block Island Rick. Rick, how are we tonight?
You got me, Mike. I saw it. I was like, is this some kind of deep fake going on here?
You know what? The thing is, the way I did it too is like, I can't explain it. Like, you know those songs that have that breakdown that's completely different than the song, but it works? Like, the fact that you held the note at the end, Rick, it was so easy for me to be like, dum, dum, come read it off it, man. It was perfect. You did a great job.
Well, happy holidays. A holly jolly holidays. I must have been well into my cups because I do not remember that recording, but that's fine.
Look, and great job by Jackie. Let's just say that first.
She's gonna get it.
That's a great job. You gotta actually acknowledge that. So, secondly, I don't know. That was a great. I would love to have footage of me like that. If you looked like you were having a good time, it was Christmas. No one was around. I didn't see any sharp objects. I know there are, but I didn't see any. No babies, no elderly. Why can't you be like that? I mean, it's near Christmas. It was Christmas, right? Like, what you're not supposed to?
Listen, it gets pretty holly jolly around here.
Apparently it does. Apparently it does. What I tell you what I noticed about Block Island, and when I'm bringing up Block Island is Rick is the head of Block Island Ghost Tours. Rick, before we get Roxy on, let's set the table. So we're going to do a show where we review audio, video footage. We're not judging. This isn't like American Idol. You're not going to see like, it's not going to be that. We're just telling you what we think when we see it, right?
That's what I was told to do. So that's what we're going to do.
And there it is. Now, let's get back to Block Island. That was my first visit to Block Island ever. And man, that's like a whole other state. It's not even the same area. Like it's so different. Like the houses, the way everything's built. And what we never talked about was at Block Island. When I went in that room and I had Buddy close the door on me, dude, it was like activity-wise, like it was in that room. Like it was weird. That thing that I had was like doing all kinds of things all at once, like spinning around. I'm like, this is awesome being in this room. But I didn't see anything. You know, like nothing popped out and nothing grabbed me, nothing touched me, nothing like that. But it was like a weird energy. So help me break that down for people. What I'm trying to say is, like, in other words, there's just a difference of how you feel completely from one room to the next. And when that happens, there's like that weird feeling like, well, why did I just change? And then you get what I'm saying? You feel it around you. That sounds weird.
Yeah. I know there was a certain heaviness when we first went up into the third floor of that hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we all felt it, I think.
Yeah. And at first I think we did. And I think we kind of figured out where it felt the most, right? We settled into the middle. We tried the ends and we kind of all made our way into the middle where that, like, it was creepy, right? Where that one door was open and
yeah.
that other door was open. They faced each other in a weird way, like a perfectly. I come out, smack you in the back of the head, and go back in my room, and no one sees me do it.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
I can't wait till Buddy gets to review some of that footage because we were hearing a lot of things through that spirit box, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. See, the thing though with Buddy getting the footage is we went to the USS Salem like a year ago, I think. And have you ever been to the USS Salem?
I have.
Right. It's weird when there's a bunch of people there for like a Paracon. It doesn't you don't. But when you go at night and there's a small group of you and you're like in groups of threes, it's a whole different like boat. And the thing is, we went into the captain's room, the front. It was dead air. Like in other words, those doors haven't been opened for so long, right? That when you open the door, the air in the room was dead. Like it like you know what I mean? It was just like out of that oomph. It was just like you felt like time stopped. It was so silent. So it was a really really bizarre place. And but actually, what I'm trying to say is, Buddy's got footage where I'm in the chief's area. In other words, the chief's supposed to be the main guy. That's like the one that like is like he could be the meanest. So like a dummy, this is just what I do when I go to places like this. I just walk right into his like quarters, and I was like right in his mirror. And I swear this. I remember saying in my head, I don't mean you any disrespect because I realized where I was. I said, I don't mean you any disrespect. I don't want to have any problems with you. All right, I'm Mike Lepre. I'm gonna go this way. I'm out. So I walk back, whatever, and then Buddy tells me that he had creep, and he's never let me hear it. And my wife has been asking to hear it. We've never heard it, but he claims to have the chief's voice saying my name when I'm in the area.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say my first name.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the creepiest.
Yeah.
Like he goes Lepre. Like Jesus, that's no, you know what I mean? Like that means he either heard me or he knew who I was or just something. Maybe it was the echo of me. No, I didn't say it out loud, so that couldn't be that. See, that's creepy, right? Though, like, and you'd want to hear that, but like, he's so full with stuff that you're like about a year. You gotta wait about a year, is what I'm saying, Rick.
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't have to wait a year. Last night, Roxy and I went into a spot that's known to have a poltergeist in it, and we were using the spirit box. And she was ordering this, whatever it was to say her name, but of course it doesn't say her name, but it let out a Rick.
There you go. There you go. Now, so all right, Block Island Ghost Tours, right? So, the woman I spoke to the other day was she was actually saying stuff like she does like a remote viewing class because I mean she's way up there like on like it's been teaching it a long time, and she's like, if it'll make things better, I can come down and I can like do like a free like kind of like class or something. And I'm like, yeah, of course. So what I'm trying to say is you got to explain to people what's going on Block Island as far as ghost tours and what ghost tours is not going to have as far as like it's going to be a scene. There's going to be like,
yeah. Well, we've talked about it a little bit, but especially in the summertime, we're going to have 3 weekends. The third weekend of the month, we're going to try to get some big names out here, to do a weekend of paranormal stuff. You'll get to go on the tours. We'll do a pub crawl for those of you guys who like to partake. And then it will be highlighted by a speaker, somebody that we've all heard of. We're just trying to nail down the schedule. That's why I'm not actually using any names right now. But someone that we've all heard of, someone that you'd want to listen to, come out and do it.
And that's the thing. It's going to attract other people with other skills, and it's going to build. Mark my words. I said it. It's going to build a small community. You're going to have a Block Island is Salem in the same sense, like of the community, but it's better because you're at the beach, like all the way around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You can't drive away from Block Island even if you wanted to.
This is true. Joining us now that she's settled in, and she missed you singing, which is just it's a shame. Roxy,
Hello.
how are you?
Good.
Hey,
How about
Rox.
you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We were just discussing what Block Island is, or is, in other words, with the ghost tours, with you guys taking over as you both do, you're going to build a community. You're going to build people are going to show up that are also into things, and they're going to want to talk to other people about things. And it's going to start to be one of those places where, whether the rest of Block Island wants to have it happen or not, it's going to become a community. Because look, if you're into the whole paranormal thing, here's what my whole pitch in my own head was: why would you not want to do it near the beach? Like, no, I'm being dead serious. Like in the sun near the beach. What the hell?
Right.
Well, I want to go sit in like a bingo hall and look at arts and crafts? No, I'm gonna go hang out in this little town that's got beach all around it. So, Roxy, we just explained Block Island Ghost Tours somewhat. Didn't you have an announcement about looking for someone for help? Because I already put up the Bewitched of Scituate. Weren't you looking for help? Didn't you put a wanted ad out?
Oh, a video. Yes. I'm looking for
Yeah.
different practitioners for some for this location, but really for Block Island. So to have readers, different readers, psychic readers. And I'm not looking for someone who's just a tarot reader. I'm looking for psychic tarot readers.
So you're gonna kind of know them when you interview them, is what you're saying? Like you're not.
Yeah,
gonna say
they'll have to
first
give
night.
me a reading, and then I'll say yay or nay.
Wow, that's tough. Imagine if
Yeah.
that's your interview for a job. By the
Yeah,
way,
that's
do a
the
reading
interview.
on me right now. I'll tell you if you're good. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've done a few of these interviews, and I said, whatever I tell you, don't take the wrong way. I'm just looking for a certain specific, I'm looking for people that have talent, and if that you have talent and you're open to be taught, then I can't give someone a psychic ability. You either have it or you don't, but I can teach you how to use it.
And the thing about Block Island is, like I said, you need someone that fits. They don't have to fit, but they can be any. No offense, guys. They can be any kind of peg, and it fits at Block Island. What I'm saying is, you just need the right one in a weird way. Like they're gonna be open to like other pegs and other shit going on all at once. Like you kind of have to be able to just swim amongst the fishes. Am I saying that right?
Not to promote the club soda, but our T-shirt logo is we're all here because we're not all there. So I think that's probably what you're trying to.
That's kind of a good point. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We gotta set the table on this because Buddy Money there is no longer gonna be able to do Thursdays while he gets his education, which I'm all for education.
That's
Now,
awesome.
It is awesome. Like that's like a big thing for him right now. So like that's an accomplishment you want to see someone get when that's what they want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I got my degree in associates by accident. Like I showed up and I was like, I'm like a CCRI, and I was like, I've got like 6 years of college. Like I was at like URI 2 years, Rick at 2 years. I think I did a year here. I said, shouldn't I get an associates? And some guy in the back does the math. What do you know? They mail me one out. That's my whole graduation. Boring as hell, depressing. I was just like, I have it upstairs in my drawer, and I don't even think I think it's all folded and bent. That's literally where I am with that thing. So moving on. First, I want to watch this. This is actually video of that ball that was found, I think, in Japan. It could be China. It's one of those two. I don't know why. I'm thinking about made in. Anyways, this was like 2 days ago. Now, this is video from someone that took it with their cell phone and not with like a news cam. And the thing they want to show you is first the stupid looking ball, right? And then the beach around it. So just watch this. Here's the thing. At first, you're like, ah, it's just an orange ball with a hook. You can see that part of it. But then when you see the beach around it, you're thinking, how did they drag it there? You know what I mean? Like, how did it get right there? To me, it looked like it came from under because of the weird canvas around it. Guys, do you have any explanation for how that or what that orange ball is and how it got on the beach like that with no markings?
I get. Where did you get this clip from?
I'm confused.
The news. Well, I don't know if you. But see, nowadays you can't say the news because when you say a channel, at least one person in the room is going to go, "That's not the news." Anyways, CBS News. So,
All right. Well, I think that's a little bit of fake news right there because I know we're not supposed to be judging the clips.
Wait a minute.
It's a buoy. It's a boat buoy.
Yep.
It's a boat.
That ended up on the beach and the water washed away the prints.
And then you think someone just spray painted it?
No, they have all different kinds of colors.
The beach washed away.
The markings of, like when the tide comes in, it's flat.
They could. All right. See, I'm not a beach guy because I don't like sand. Now, let me ask you this. The question is,
I should have took you to the beach while you were out here, Mike.
When it dragged, guys, when that ball was dragged in, you're trying to tell me that
I'm saying the ball floated in, it sat down, and then the water receded. And the water takes out all the markings.
Tides.
All right. But check the type of sand that's around the. See the sinking, the you don't see the ring around it. You see what I'm trying to tell you guys about? Like what I'm saying is, why is it sitting there like that with I don't mean to sound dumb because I speak for the dumb. I don't mind sounding dumb, but you guys are from the beach. Does the ball make that ring?
Yes.
Yes.
That's just the water settling in?
Yeah.
All right, so you're trying to tell me that.
Well, you also have to have the wind,
all
too.
CBS News, just saying, CBS News, all they had to do was call somebody from Block Island?
Probably.
I think so.
I think so, too.
I had Holly Herman just chime in saying mooring ball. And that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She's right.
So wait a minute. This is CBS News. This isn't like Sam and Joe's News. Like was once considered one of the main three, right?
This is something that legit paranormal news would not cover.
Right.
That, you know what? See, here's the point. Here's a point to make. That made it to the news. Other things that have happened or people have seen will never see the light of day. But that made it to the news. And what's funny to me is call somebody from Block Island and they'll tell you what you really saw. All right, I got to go to this one next. Stop it there. So now these things right away, right? Am I looking for strings? Like you guys are the experts. You in a way, you above me. So I watch these videos. Joe Dumb, let's call me. Mike Dumb, why not? And I see this video. Like literally, am I looking for wires or am I just thinking maybe the house rattled? I'm being dead serious. Like what's the explanation for all that stuff?
You really should be looking for all logical reasons.
Yep. Wires.
That's one thing you do.
All right.
You slow it down and you got to watch it a couple of times and then see if they've actually created the video to kind of look like that, because you can do these things and then create it to look that way. So you'll see that different, you can tell when people kind of do that. There are some people that are really, really good at it that it's really hard to see with the naked eye, but
let me ask you this. Did that feel like a setup?
It did.
Rick, you see something like that, your mind goes to?
It does. You go through, is there wires? Why is the camera pointing in a room like that for no reason? Was it part of if it was a part of an investigation of a haunted spot? Was it, what's the context?
Well, that's the thing. Like
They just want to make it look scary, just so they had content and people could just share it and be like, "Oh my god!" Because nobody really checks anything. They just want to go right off what they saw. They don't care that it's real or not. I was just like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" Then they're sharing it to their friends.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like, in other words, the main videos, they go more public than anything. This is so now if you're an average YouTube person, and you buy that whole that algorithm thing, if you go down this rabbit hole of when you type in paranormal, and I did this because I figured, you know what? If I wanted to get into paranormal, wouldn't I start there? So I just started YouTubing it. Now, so I want you to know, as far as views, clicks, people that have watched, what I'm showing you are the top viewed paranormal clips. So part of what we do is we have to look at these things, and I need you guys to tell me why that it's not really real. Because these are the ones that there's no guest on. We're not actually talking about someone's videos to them. To them. Okay. Sound Italian on that one. This is more reviewing of what the major ones are, right? This is like what the major public is watching. So we kind of get a slot there, go wide, and bring this in.
Okay.
That way we can start to either debunk or believe in some of the ones that the majority, you know how I feel about the majority, but let's get back to this. I got to get back to it. So I'm going to show you a couple in a row this time. And then so at no point so far am I at a point where now I guess thinking like you guys are going to think. So far everything can be staged, but then I wonder where that gets slippery and becomes something that's like, well, at what level can everything be fake? Like at any level. If you're saying something can be fake, I'm thinking anything can be fake. So it just kind of, it's a weird thing. So sorry. So my biggest issue is if this is what the mainstream has been feeding them and this is what they're eating, Roxy, help give an explanation to people that are digesting this and taking it as serious.
Well, I think one of the things is we all have our opinion, right? So that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So we all know I have quite opinions. Roxy 1.0, 2.0, 3.0.
Me and Rick were like, Rick, we just went like this when she said that. Oh yeah, we know.
So I mean, I love great discussion. I think it's great to debate these things and kind of go back and forth with, people that are like-minded and also not like-minded, right? So you can get different perspectives. And I think that's kind of the cool thing of watching videos like this is that we can really kind of look at that and go, okay, I've seen the paranormal. I mean, I've seen spirit move things. I've actually can see them with my own eyes and actually saw things move and turn. A lot of times I have never experienced it personally where, like that knife went flying out of the drawer. I think that was a little.
It went way too fast for a ghost.
It went way too fast. And then all of a sudden the door happens to creak like
Well, the door was really slow, and it was like they gave it another like 3 minutes to go set it up and go run around the corner and pull this fucking string. That's what I thought. Like my point. My point is, we have to start with these because this is what they're seeing as paranormal. That's so. There's
Because
a
it's
lot of
like
misconceptions.
unexplained, right?
What's that?
Because they look at it and it's like unexplained. Like,
Yeah.
Like my kids will scroll through TikTok. My 10-year-old, my daughter, she'll scroll through them like, "Oh my god, mom, did you see this?" Da da da. And I'm like, "No, that's staged." But she got really excited about it, and then she sent it to 3 of her friends, and they're like, "Whoa, that's crazy," you know. And it's like a movie, right? I feel like that's a lot of what the paranormal has kind of become. Unfortunately, it's about this like hype. Everyone sees a demon. Everyone's getting, all this, and that. And yeah, some things, there are some stuff out there that's real, but it doesn't happen every time. I mean, take that you are out there in the world trying to see spirit or communicate or so forth.
Rick,
Yeah,
don't you
and
think
we-
that
and we-
without a person there, it kind of lessens it? Like the fact that there's nobody in the room.
Yeah,
makes it
who sets up a camera in the corner of their kitchen? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that. And then you can start to look at it, logically, everything seemed to be moving in that second clip in the same direction. So whoever's off to the side can be pulling things, you know what I mean? Strings and things. I could make you a great fake video for one of our clips sometimes.
No, you wouldn't want to. You really wouldn't want to do that. That's the point. Like it's
No, that's what I'm saying. But I mean,
Hold on.
it's not hard to do.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hold on. Look at this. Watch this. So now, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'll pull that down. What I'm about to show you after this is 7 minutes of a video that's been shared multiple times. I think this viewing is at 10 million, something like that. Something stupid. This is 7 minutes of what YouTube is concocted as the paranormal like type video. So we're gonna watch that in its entirety. And I think here's the problem I have with all the fakery. Somebody who had something really happen and caught footage of it is like, what the like mine's real. Like I got caught up with all this other bullshit, and here I am. So what happens to the ones that slip through the cracks?
Oh, I'm back.
Crotch shot. Roxy, what happens to the real ones that slip through the cracks?
Well, I think at times they're just not that exciting, right? Because if you're creating something that has a bigger hype, that content outbeats that content. And in technology and everything today, I just think it's really hard. Again, you want to look at the person who caught it, their character, like who they kind of are as a person, what's their intent. That can kind of take a lot.
And we shouldn't dismiss everything either.
Right.
We got to look at it really like, not everything is a fake. I mean, Rox, you sent me some videos this morning. You know what I mean?
That we got last night.
And it was the real deal. I mean, we both know that, nothing was faked. But to a third party, what are they going to say?
Right.
They're gonna say what they say. See, my issue is everybody's like desensitized or like not at all. Like either the dumbest things make them amazed or they don't believe in anything. And my problem is, and I bring it back to this. Once I saw the Muppets ride bicycles, it totally changed how I saw stuff. Because I could not believe that you could film. I'm being serious. As a kid, I'm thinking, how do you make Muppets ride bicycles? Like to this day, they got a balance, right? This is back in like 70s, late 70s, I don't know, early 80s. There's Muppets on bicycles just pedaling, and they go straight down the park. I'm not kidding you. It's like one of the most, if you go back, it's one of the most amazing scenes I've ever seen. How'd they do that? So once I saw that, I knew that movie magic existed. I think that kind of ruined it. It made a lot of people have to prove harder that they had evidence or proof. And I think, Roxy, what you alluded to earlier is you can't always find something every time you go looking. So to have an episode after episode where you go and you find something, it doesn't even really make sense, does it?
No. And, I try to look at all the dynamics of things. You know, when I see a lot of paranormal footage, and it's the same type of people, and they're constantly always getting great stuff, then you got to look at that and say, okay, how are they getting that? There's usually someone there who's a conduit that the energy is attracted to, that you'll always kind of get great stuff. And then the people that really don't bring mediums or psychics or someone that spirit would be drawn to, you'll see that you don't get it as much, or it takes longer to get some kind of communication or that on film, whether it's a recording or a video.
So Rick, to you, does that not go towards the theory that everything that's deemed paranormal is more of a personal thing?
Well, I think we also have to be fair too, because we're not sure. You know, it may look like they are the people who get a lot of stuff, but maybe they're going out every single night, and maybe they're only showing us the videos where they get stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's like when I pick football games, I don't put up the losers.
Yeah,
I mean,
and why would anyone post an investigation where nothing happened?
Well, that's the thing. I once pitched that to Scott Grunwald. He's this guy that builds stuff for like the TV shows. He's really good at it. Like he's really good with his hands and like that. He's really funny. And I pitched him a show where like you just keep showing these people and they go out hunting and they never find anything. It's like episode after episode after episode, nothing, dude. And then we build up the season finale, like make it like a big deal and people get excited and they find nothing. We just end it like that. And we're like,
Oak Island.
That's how it happens. But like, really,
yeah, exactly.
It's the Oak Island show.
No, but
yeah.
I'm on 10 seasons.
So you know what? I've never watched a paranormal show, and here's what blew my mind. I'm like, The Conjuring has a movie, really? And then they're like, dude, there's like 9 movies that are connected to it. I was like, no. And they started explaining them again. This was recent. I was like, what the? I have been out of that bubble for so long. I had no idea. How many movies come from The Conjuring?
Well, there's the Annabelle series. It's their they have a whole universe. So there's 3 Conjuring, probably 3 Annabelles, and a couple other ones. So at least 8.
They got their own universe.
They created it.
That's not fair. I can think of so many other TV shows that would have better. I don't want to get into that part. All right, guys.
But what's great about them, right, is they took, you know, stories or events that happened, right? But this is the number one thing you have to do. I know, because I've been on paranormal TV shows, is that, yeah, you have this great story, that an actual event that happened, but then you have to fill a 30 or 45 minute space, and the story is like 5 minutes. So then you have to build the content, and you have to build all these other layers. So, because who would watch it if it wasn't scary or has some kind of element? The one thing I think is missing from, you know, the paranormal, even when it comes to TV shows, is that it doesn't show our younger generation or people getting into the field like, okay, this is how you debunk something. This is how, you know, when we've spent 12 hours here, we went to the same place, you know, 6 weeks in a row, and like the one thing we got was a dust bunny flyby. Like, it does happen like that, you know. And then there's times when the timing lines up and you end up getting some great things. So like what happens is, I think for the younger generation, I have a 20-year-old, and he looks at these things and he's like, you know, how can they every episode they get something? I'm like, because they plan it that way. Because it wouldn't be a TV show and they wouldn't get the ratings and nobody would get paid.
So Rick, to you, the thing about paranormal is, as far as fans of it, what the average age is like around 12 or 13.
Oh,
so they're digesting the dude. I checked. I googled.
He did the research.
I did the research. I did the research on like age groups, and when their target audience is like around that. They always say 12 to 15 as the teen, and then like 15 to 20. It starts to 12 to 15 because like girls that age, Ouija board, stuff like that. I'm just saying, like I'm reading the facts. I'm going, wow, like there's such a diverse crowd. It starts really young and it goes all the way to the end. That makes sense. You know, whatever your end is.
It's the question that everyone on the planet has. What happens after you die? I think, you know, maybe that's the marketing of the TV shows to the kids, but I think somewhere in everyone there is, you know, a wanting to see the paranormal. I mean, isn't that just natural, universal?
Well, I don't know if where you go when you die, like is like kids nowadays have seen the multiverse. They've seen all this weird stuff. So now they think that like I don't know, they just think that like when I talk to my kids about it, they have a much different view than like how I seen it. You know what I mean? Like they don't have like I think they have a better view is what I'm trying to say. They're more in tune with it. Like I'm thick-headed. I like my own set of ways. But like this younger crowd is what's fueling this, and I'm glad that you're saying what you're saying because honestly, the crowd that's building up and what's about to happen, I think, is going to be an influx of people that are going to be amazed when they see what's actually real as opposed to what they're consuming as like paranormal. Like, dude, those are just objects moving out of a room. Let's just watch this next clip. And tell me what you guys think of it. But really take a spin because there's actually a couple in here that I've watched before. I've seen the context, and I'm like, yeah, that might be something that creeped me out. But you tell me. So let's,
Awesome.
and I don't know why it sounds like a little girl looks like she's doing TikTok, but bear with me. Is it right? What the hell is that all about? Let's do it.
So for today's drink,
Tell me if you need me to pause it at any point. All right, this is that. This one's extremely downloaded, but like I can't. The baby ghost. Did you see the ghost with the shadow thing with the baby?
Yeah.
All right. So this is like. Oh, did I pause it? And this is like. No, I didn't. Why would? Am I gonna say a word? Am I gonna get angry? All right. The gate. Look at the stride. Oh no! Stop! Listen. Did you see? Did you see how the gate, the stride was on the Bigfoot just then?
Yes.
Did you see how he barely put his foot in front of his other foot, as if he was like having a hard time lifting boots? Rick? Did you think that? Did it look like a guy in a suit having a hard time?
Yeah, I want to see that again.
I have to see it again.
It's a dude in a suit. Now, I mean, I went to a Bigfoot convention. There's some people that have some stuff that I was like, yeah, you know what? All right, but this is just like watch the way he's. Let me get it right here. Watch the way he's lifting his feet.
You're not gonna want to.
I mean, is that Bigfoot like walking on eggs? What is that? What? Rick, right? No, I'm right,
yeah,
though, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you would think it has a longer stride. You would think because it's Bigfoot. All right, let's go back to it. Hold on.
Don't miss any of this video because there are parts throughout the entire video that show visuals of I can't explain, he can't explain. There's audio of noises from something.
Watch. First of all, I feel set up by that.
What is that? That sound. Back over there.
That used to be the trail right there. That's the trail that you're supposed to take.
Looks like we have a lot of bones. A lot of hair. I would say these are probably from deer. Several of them. Ripped apart. Looks like they're ripped apart pretty good. So after seeing the bones and everything, we decided to continue down to the cave, the Hozak's cave. We had gotten permission to
Oh my God, I'm gonna fall
be able
asleep.
to actually fly a drone out of
It's-
the park.
I'm
as long as
sorry.
we stayed away from
I'm
any
like,
public
this-
areas like the
it's
lodge or
decomposition.
cabins or, even the campground. The sounds that you're gonna hear next are absolutely
Wait.
Sorry.
Now wait a minute. No, you
Some
wait,
of the
wait. You don't understand. There's
sounds of the
conventions like
nature
this.
of
Wait,
the
listen.
that
This sound
is
is what they're
around
waiting
to
for. This wait,
pinpoint the
this
exact location where the
that
sounds are
hoot,
coming
that
from.
hoot sound. That's what they're. Listen. Hear the hoot?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hear that howl? The distinct howl? So now, every somewhat credible, in my opinion, video I've ever seen involving Bigfoot, like it comes from like the army or people like in that kind of thing that they talk about like being surrounded by what they couldn't figure out what it was. Like there's that one story from a soldier that I know it was a guy that was out hunting with his friends. They all had the same audio footage, the same footage. They were stuck there all night. What was surrounding them was making this like hoot sound that was like connecting. Now, the other supposed where they've seen it, it's got that. It's known for two things: knocking on trees and making that one howl type hoot sound. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know tomorrow night we have Daniel Benoit and the Bigfoot Experience. So this is in no disrespect to people that believe in Bigfoot. That noise, right? So what there is really no proof of Bigfoot. There is literally no real proof of Bigfoot. Never has been, never. They've never found his hair. And here's the conversation that I had. I said, they've never even found a hair or something, anything. And he said, well, how do you know they didn't find it? They just wouldn't know what it belonged to. What is that? What does that mean? I'm being dead serious. Rick, what does that mean?
I don't know. You would think that you would find a skull, a Bigfoot, perhaps.
You know what that means, Rick, though? It means that another issue with the whole paranormal thing is that there's a couple of lines that are get out of jail free lines that people use.
Sure.
You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like they'll give you an explanation that just a get out of jail free card. Like I can say that in any conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like one of those lines you can just say. So they all have them kind of canned, and that's the other issue I have with it. So, guys, paranormal. When you say that, people think ghosts. Literally, here's what they think: ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, and then I think it was aliens and oh man, I'm missing out on one. I can't remember the last one. But that's literally what they think of. So Bigfoot is on the board. That's a whole side of it that I have a hard time. The fact that they haven't found one, like, or that, let me put it this way.
I mean, is it possible that there is a large primate living somewhere out there that science hasn't discovered? Yes. I mean, there's tribes that have been recently discovered in the last 30 years. New species are found of animals are found every day. Is it likely that there's living in New Jersey?
Why not? Wait a minute. Why? Whoa, time out. Why not New Jersey?
Out with
Let me
the
ask
pizza.
No. New Jersey's got a lot of woods. Like, why do they got to come from someplace other than New Jersey?
You know what I'm saying?
All right, you just kind of like you slandering New Jersey, to be completely honest. But
No, if you said Jersey Devil, I would say Mike.
Yeah.
Right. Jersey Devil, not Jersey
Right.
Bigfoot.
So then, Roxy, why is there Dogman, Frogman? Now, see, here's the issue and what I'm setting it up for. We went around the room and everybody had a different reason for Bigfoot, and I kind of almost was like, all right, I'll listen to you talk. Like I liked everybody's opinion, but then one guy, this older guy, got up and told everybody in the room that it was a figment of their imagination, that Bigfoot was just like, and like I immediately was watching them instead of watching him or the crowd. because I knew they were all going to get angry because he just pretty much went up on stage, this older guy, and just told everybody that everything they're saying is bullshit. It's in their heads. They were so angry. They got so angry. And the thing was, the guy did it kind of professionally, but he seemed like, how do I explain it? I think he was just trying to spoil soup. So, Roxanne, when you discuss Bigfoot and all these different animal head creatures from different areas, what do you tell people? What is your explanation? Do you tell them that, yeah, the multiverse is big enough to have all these cryptids walking around, or is it just what they want to see, or what I don't know, what scares them most? Like, explain to me why there's so many different ones.
I mean, I think, I've had people that from all over that I've, actually talked to, or even when we did some research and have seen similar things, like describing it the same way. So like the way I look at that is, yes, for me to say that there isn't these things out there that maybe some people can see and some people can't, then, I don't believe in myself then, so I do believe that there are these things out there that some people see and some people don't. And then when they see them, makes them want to hunt them. But I believe, especially when it comes to Bigfoot, that I feel like it is more of a spiritual being that may have actually existed, or maybe can fraction into our space and time when people can actually see it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my thought on it.
Because listen, then there's actually people that think that like that there's just different like vibrations of time, and that they're all happening at once.
Portals, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's another way they're saying. Portals.
Yeah. Skinwalker Ranch. Do you guys know? You guys must have heard about Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they have everything, apparently. They have, shapeshifters. They have tons of aliens, poltergeists. And
Skinwalker Ranch, right? The scariest thing about that place was the fact that they have that that thing that showed that there was something living underneath the ranch. The heat thing. I don't know if you saw that. Like, the biggest issue I had with that was that they were saying that they saw what appeared to be like a serpent that lived under the ground there. Now, cut to Barry Fitzgerald, who's from Ghost Hunters International. I didn't even know that it was international, but it was. And he's calling us from Ireland. It was like 3 a.m. there. God bless that guy. And he was like a mess. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried to talk to somebody and they're a complete just mess. And you're like, oh boy, we're going to have a hard time here because he's got to get a hold of himself.
All the time.
I'm like, dude, what happened? And he said that what he saw on the last journey he was just on, another digging thing, changed his whole paradigm on life.
What do you see?
So he wouldn't tell us. So, I figured, all right, let me figure out how to get him to tell us. So I kind of backdoored the conversation. I started talking about this, that, the other. I'm bringing him around. He doesn't understand that he's still talking about stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, then let me ask you this, Barry. What you saw below the earth, and we weren't talking about the earth. You're probably talking about the giants. I said, what you saw below the earth, was it serpentine in nature? Oh, we got such a dead pause. And he said yes in a way that, there she goes, that scared the daylights out of me. Like, in other words, Roxy, when you're talking to somebody and you totally believe them?
Yeah.
Even though they're saying something outlandish to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least you believe that they believe 100% that happened. So that's the thing, right, too. You got to understand, someone could believe 100% that something happened, even if it didn't happen. If it happened to them, it's weird. So let's not go that route. My point is, you can tell when they're being honest, right?
Yes.
All right. So talking to this guy, his story scared me more than like all the other stories they tell about these crazy things happening. Oh, because it terrified him. Like, he didn't have to pretend to be terrified on a podcast with me and Buddy on a Sunday night. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, he was just being real. Like, we were talking about other stuff, and he just started to talk about that again. So to be that shaken, and now to hear that there's been, like, that's the big thing that underneath these places are, and I'm not joking, serpents. Look it up. Why? Is there any, can there be any truth to that? Let's be logical that, yeah, maybe they could live deep in the earth, because how would we know if something could survive? It's kind of, isn't it kind of like, right? I mean, isn't there supposed to be like water down there, certain parts of, underneath the earth? Am I right? So, do they have any credibility when they say that? Like, these are like legit guys saying, "Yeah, this is an issue we had." Like big serpents that live underneath the locations. Being serious, like
I want to know, like, how did they figure out that there were serpents underneath there?
so on the Skinwalker Ranch, Rick, if you saw the whole thing, I don't know how they explained that it's a serpent, but there's a
I did
sound
too.
that they kept hearing. But right, it was like a hissing sound, like a loud. There's a sound that it made that scared them the first time in the show, and they played it, and it's been tried to been debunked, but it's something that it's a scary sound, and it's kind of what he heard in the other place. It's like a loud hiss, and the thing is, he's seen it. That's I think that's what I'm saying on this. He said he saw it. So when I
So he
asked
saw
him
it
what he saw,
psychically, or did he actually see it with his 2 eyes?
no, physically, they were digging on a dig, and he physically saw something that changed. Now he said paradigm. So understand he changed his whole religion. He doesn't vote for the same guy anymore. Maybe he drives on the left side, the right side. I don't know. I'm saying he changed everything, right? Paradigm is a big word. We can't just say that, and it's just a word. So Roxy, how credible is that when you say that it changed your whole paradigm? That's all in. That's all your chips. You took all your chips to the middle on that one.
I think the most amazing thing is when you can have an experience, whether you want it or not. I think once you have that experience, then you have added value. So then you take that added value of what you've seen, you probably pulled it in your head like, nope, I saw this really happened. And then it says, okay, now I know there's other things in this world or other possibilities. Now I'm going to have to, because do my research or a belief system, whatever it is, because now it has been shown to you and you can't get it out of your mind.
Yep. And just like finding Bocce, Rick, isn't it weird that this guy went back on a dig to the same depth that he did at Skinwalker Ranch, just kind of like going up to the same frequency? He tried to duplicate it, and Rick, this is what he gets. Like, what do you think of that? Is that a setup, or what is it like? Or is that? I mean, because dude, I believe them, and and again, he's in Ireland telling the story for no reason. And it was scary the way he was telling it. Like, people try to tell scary stories all the time. They're not scary. And then someone tells you a story that's not really that scary, but it's true. That's terrifying. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. So St. Patrick did not get all the snakes out of Ireland?
Yeah, see? It wasn't in Ireland that he did the dig. They don't do that in Ireland. They find places that are entertaining. So now, listen, next week we have on, her name is Cynthia. She has a website. I watched a couple of her videos that we're going to have. I saw a couple of still photos. There's a really weird Ouija board one where it looks like electricity going across it. And I'm trying to figure out how that is from a digital camera, because it looks like it's an old. We'll talk about that when we look at it.
Okay.
But so moving forward, we're going to have somebody on to facilitate our videos and to be able to be interviewed. However, I wanted to make sure that we explain again what we do, who we are, and why this show works. So we're not American Idol judges, like I explained with Rick earlier. We're not. We never do that. That's just not what we do. But we are going to give you an honest opinion of what we think when we watch something. Sounds fair, right?
Sounds fair.
So that's my point. I think you start first though with people that are interested in the paranormal and see it and click into it or go into it. Like, this world's so weird. It's not like back in the day. I'd put a band flyer on a friggin' pole and staple it. That's like how you got the word out. Man, I'm old. That's it. So nowadays it's just, this is what's being fed to them. So it's almost like if you want to kind of nip them in the bud and get them in the right direction on all this, because, like, in my opinion, playing with Ouija boards isn't a smart thing. I don't know if I'm wrong with that. Maybe I'm superstitious, but I'm like, I wouldn't give that to a kid. Like, I don't understand the whole point of that. Like, Roxy, can you give that to a kid?
I mean, yeah, you can give them, anything if they're opening up to communicate or, use any type of communication psychic ability. No matter what you use, you can
Twister?
Huh?
Could I use Twister?
Yeah, you could get in trouble with that too.
But yeah, Twisted opens up a few portals before.
a few
I'm
people-
out. I'm out. Guys took a right turn. I'm trying to go left. You're talking blue humor. I'm trying not to. So, all right. So here's the thing. So we're gonna have audio, video, and really, like, what I liked about the videos that I just saw were that they're the easiest to explain. Now, maybe not the Bigfoot one because I'm still a little weirded out by the noise it made. What he caught, is that a wolf? What's hurt? I know deer, they make sound that's similar to that, but I whatever. They did a decibel check, and there's a couple of Bigfoot ones that have hit stuff that nothing else has ever hit. They've heard noises they never heard made. Anyways, the whole goal moving forward though is to have people on to understand them, and the thing is, paranormal's a personal thing. I keep learning that it's more of a one-on-one basis, community type thing. It's not meant. It really isn't meant for the whole TikTok 10 seconds and you're out, is it? It's not meant for it because, in other words, like, you can't dice up something that's like something that's a long story needs the whole time to develop and end, right?
Sure.
It works that way. You can't just take something out of it, like the highlight, like when Rocky knocks the guy out, and just throw that on the internet. That doesn't work. Where's the whole? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, it does work. It works for the entertainment value for people to get followers, likes, and everything else. And so it depends what their intention is. If that's their intention to like build up this hype,
well,
then
what's entertaining about it? That's my point. Where's the entertainment value?
It's the shock factor, because I feel like this world is very easy. Like, I'm bored, boom, swipe. Oh my God, that was funny. But the attention span of this generation is not a lot, you know. So it's just a quick click fix. You either make me laugh, or this was really sad. Swipe left, you know. Oh my God, did you just see that box move? That's incredible. Like, nobody cares if it's real or fake.
So, Rick,
that's what I'm finding.
Rick,
when it comes to that,
is she not again saying that it's not like a internet thing? It's a personal thing. The things that you're going to believe and enjoy and talk about are going to be on a more personal level than on a swipe.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't we here to try to see the best paranormal stuff that we can find?
We're here to see what people believe to be their best stuff, right? What I wanted to start off with was to go over what is deemed the best. You can't you can't start to set a bar unless you know what gym you're in. Like, what we're dealing with is what we just saw was the most viewed type paranormal stuff. So it's like, it's a lot of people. You got to understand that. So they all kind of need to know where to start with this and understand why that's not right. Like, why it's more of a long story and not supposed to be a 30-second commercial. Does that make sense, Roxy?
Yeah, like for me, I immediately, when I saw that thing come flying out of the drawer and then the door move, I'm like, is that possible? Yes. I want to know the backstory. Like, do they start putting cameras in there because they started getting this type of activity? Have these people had this type of activity in another location besides this new location they're in? I want to ask all those questions. And as a paranormal investigator, that's something that I would ask if I was to go to someone's house because they have activity. You know, I'm looking to see the psychological components in the house. Is there an adolescent child that's going through some things? Energy can be drawn from many different sources, and it usually targets. So, as a paranormal investigator, these are the things that I would do. And then I would also use my ability to remote view to go into the location before I actually put my physical body there also, and bring a team. So, I mean, there's many different things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But I think that's the cool part. I think if some of that was out there, I think future paranormal enthusiasts, I think, want to know that, you know, okay, yes, you cook the soup and the soup is there and it's fantastic, but where'd you get this ingredients? How did you make this recipe? How did this happen? You know, and I think that's, even when I've been in Paracons, I've seen people come in there, they want to see the spooky stuff. The reason why they want to see the spooky stuff is because they had actual experiences and they are looking for answers. So great, you have a video of a book flying off the shelf. what else about that? I had that, and someone says I've had that experience in my own house, but I'm trying to figure out why this keeps happening.
Yeah, to me, it's just a shitty house. That's what I think when I see that stuff happen. Like, it's like, whatever, dude. That's a horrible house to be in, but like, it's not amazing, right? Right, Rick?
Yeah, I think we're here doing this because well, at least for me, anyways. I believe in ghosts. I believe in hauntings. I believe that evidence can be had. Um,
Block Island Ghost Tours.
Yep.
Believes in ghosts.
And it's important to share that information. So I don't want to be the person who shoots down every video. I want to see what's out there, and that's I think that a lot of people are like that. I've seen some cool stuff already, so
it's almost like I don't want to say you got to know the enemy because it's not the enemy, but it's
Nah.
like you got to know like what's coming up in the farm system sometimes. Because if they're just not throwing the ball correctly, or they're trying out these new stances and it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. You got to kind of tell them. Like it's kind of like almost like you kind of have a duty to pass it down, because if you don't, you're gonna get things like this. Like, I mean, that's serious. Like, I think the thing exploded so fast. So many people wanted to know about it. There was not that many teachers or people that could guide them in the right direction.
And I see where you're going with this, Mike, and I agree with you, because there are the staple people, quotations I won't name drop, that are doing the same thing in the same paracons all around telling the same stories, but yet there's no other competition in a say. There's no other viewpoint. There's no one else out there kind of saying, okay, great. Like, they're kind of like, yeah, they're kind of like the ones that went out there and told their story, and they continue to do it, and they should, right? But let's open up a space for someone who is doing it maybe from a different viewpoint, and so you can get some other information. So I think it's kind of like a monopoly. In the paranormal, there becomes like a monopoly of people with the same scenarios, but there's no one actually going up against those monopolies with maybe a new direction that may open the eyes and be great for our community as a whole. Because when you have monopolies, it's also nice, maybe not to the the one who is the monopoly, but to have kind of more room to grow and competition.
Yeah, and I don't want to sell the kids short either. You know what I mean? It's too easy to say the kids have a short attention span. They're used to TikTok. That's what they're doing. But if they have the right thing in front of them, they would be able to hold their attention, and they would be able to,
But that's what I'm saying, that what's holding their attention are these really quick clips of like seeing something fly off the shelf, because it's like,
amazing to them.
About it. Right. But if we put them in a situation where they could do a paranormal investigation and really get excited and feel what that feels like, to kind of see what else is out there, then and they're interested in it, then you capture them for that time being,
Yeah.
So as we start to wrap up, and I've now completely made the circle that I hope to make, Rick, Block Island Ghost Tours operates what days?
During the summer?
Yes.
Every day.
Every day. Of what month? Of what months?
We start, you can get us to go out tomorrow. If you had a group of people out there, our number's on our website. Just call up me or Holly, and we'll take you out. And then in the summertime, we have more of a structure where there's a bunch of stuff going on every day. Working with Roxy, and pub crawls and bus tours, and we got a little bit for everyone.
So I know there's a thing called Island Time, Rick. I want to stick with Ghost Tours before we go to Roxy's businesses. If she's talking Monopoly, and yet she's already got like she's playing Risk. They're playing Monopoly. So, Rick, what are the hours? Like, I know there's Island Time, but what are the technical hours? If the people want to get contact, want to come there, want to go on the tours, like what are the when do you start? What's the earliest one? I guess I'm asking.
We'll do a van tour starting at 3. Then we have 3 new harbor tours, 3 old harbor tours. We got stuff going on all the time, Michael.
So you don't want them coming till 3?
No, I didn't say that. I said, give me a call and we'll take you out.
All right. So you're saying, get a hold of us.
Yep. BlockIslandGhostTours.com.
We're willing to work with you. This is fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Roxy, your establishments.
Oh my
Where,
goodness.
where are they now, and how are they doing? What will their hours be?
Oh, I'm
I
like
don't know.
Rick with the hours thing. We're on island
Give it a
time.
shot. Look. I'm a guy that wants to know when something opens. I want to.
I
So
don't
give me a
know. We're
shot.
just
Give me
it's
a,
like
We're open, Mike.
no,
We're
we're
open.
like it's like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You know, you walk through that wardrobe, you see the little lamp post. Like we could be on, we could be open. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what that meant. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You know what? Rick knew it. He laughed. I have no idea where we're going, so I'm just hoping that I don't know what it meant. But go ahead.
Okay, so Bewitcher Situate here in Situate, Rhode Island. So I am open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 10 to 4. And then during the week, the other days, it's by appointment only, but that's also when I do different cases and things like that. So in the paranormal. So that's why the store's only open 3 days.
Now, the stuff that you're selling,
Mm-hmm.
this is of interest, and I can tell you why. I have a 20-year, no, I keep saying that. She's 19-year-old daughter that on the last show last night was watching at her dorm. Like there was like 10 of them all watching us, and they've watched the show before, and they're all interested in that kind of. I don't want to say jewelry because I guess it's jewelry. I don't know, but they're looking for the. They're all into like crystals and tarot cards and all that. Anything they can. So what do you like? What do you offer? Like, what do you sell? What do you propose when people walk in? They're looking for some sort of like anything. I'm being serious. Like, what's if someone walks in looking to buy something? Do you sell?
Okay.
Like
Yeah, of course. So I have all those things. I have herbals, oils,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff of the holistic nature, all the things the girls are, the watching on TikTok. Everyone is becoming a little bit more conscious of the metaphysical, and I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So we sell crystals, we sell all that stuff. We make a lot of it ourselves here. So
Now, crystals, why are they different one from the other? I'm speaking for the dumb, but I look at two crystals and I say to myself, other than color, what's the difference?
So the difference is you're going to tell yourself that. So when someone comes in my store, say, okay, amethyst is great for this, citrine's great for this, but it really doesn't matter, to be quite honest with you, because I always say, I want you to look around, grab a crystal, hold it, tell me what it makes you feel like. Where does that energy go? If you have a headache, you pick up a stone that clearly they're saying out there in the universe, that it's great for headaches, but you go to pick it up and it doesn't work for your headache, then that stone's not for you. So you really need to be out there and kind of pick things up and feel them out, feel the energy frequency from them.
Rick, I'm going to throw this one at you because what she's talking about is on this level, and it's something I was really into for a while. The idea of Zen, the whole study of it, in a weird way, is similar as far as you have to just kind of live in the moment, like be where you are, and just that's the goal of it, right?
Absolutely. Energy, baby. Take time to breathe.
So, in other words, people that are into Zen don't really realize how far over it moves. And I wonder sometimes if people in the paranormal understand that there is a Zen like feeling to it that sometimes they just trample over because they want to do like guys in bikinis that are British that are serial killers paranormal, and they'll film like 8 episodes and people will love it. And it's just like, how did that get made? Like that's what ends up happening. And it's like if you don't break through or at least show up and say like, here's what we're gonna do, here's what's real, here's what's not, here's what you need to look for, here's what you should be looking for, like the personal experience, I'm not gonna know. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we get to talk about your establishments and Ghost Island Block Island Ghost Tours.
Ghost Island Block.
Well,
I like that too.
Well, let me ask you this. You know how you feel energies? There is nothing stronger than when a dog needs to go out and it's even in another room. I can't even hear him barking, but there's this vibe that I'm getting. He's like, I can tell that the minute I open the door, I'm going to get knocked down the stairs. I digress. Rick, what are you going to say to wrap it up?
I want to say, buddy, we missed that face of yours and looking at the mountains of Smithfield in the background. Come back and visit us anytime you can, please.
Got to get his degree. Roxy, wrap it up.
I just want to say thank you, Mike, for putting up some great little clips for us to kind of go over. And same thing, buddy. Hope you're getting your studies on to do some amazing stuff for the kids. So thank you for tonight. It was great.
Let me tell you what. I want to thank you two guys because I knew that this was going to be painful for both of you. And I tried to explain that to Rick at the beginning of the show with the whole Norm Macdonald analogy. Like, you got to go through what's the first, very most basic thing and get past that so people understand who you are, where you're going, and what you're going to talk about. Because this is what they see as the benchmark or what is seen as paranormal. That word should be changed, I think, because it's used for too much. But then again, some people like maybe Roxy will say that it is everything. And then it's like, oh, here we go again. They're back to Zen. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking? So I digress. But thank you both. I hope it wasn't too painful. You'll enjoy next week. But I'm glad you made it through.
Loved it, Mike.
It was almost like the moth joke. Oh, in the video, Roxy, you didn't get to see. See, you missed the best part of the whole show, and that's the Rick video because it's got footage of him, and the music stops, and he's just drunk on Christmas playing the guitar, singing.
Jackie, if you're watching, you're dead, by the way.
Yeah, Jackie set him up.
Oh, no, I missed that. I was,
What
I
a
was
video she
literally
sent me.
leaving Block Island.
I know that's what we were saying because I put together a song and then I put together a song around Rick and his drunken strumming of guitar. Like it was so much fun when I got that video from her. I'm like, I was like a dog with a bone. I'm like, I can't wait to do this. I just can't. And then I made it, and then the wife goes, is he gonna get upset about this? And I'm like, oh yeah, see, no, I didn't think about that. I go, you know what? I'm gonna put thanks, Jackie, in big letters.
That way, you did.
That way he knows where the blame should go. All right. Thank you guys. So I'm gonna wrap it up. For Roxanne Jasparo. For just Rick won't read the bottom. It is me, Mike Liberty King, Mike Elders was Legit Paranormal Clips brought to you by legitpodcast.com. We will see you again next week. Tomorrow night is, I know it sounds like we were bashing it, but we weren't. Daniel Benoit and the Bigfoot Experience at 9:05.